Truckers X TV on air. We are now live in 3, 2, 1.
Serenoa and his stalwart allies prove their mettle against the realm's fiercest warriors before finally facing Sir Maxwell, victor of the previous tourney. After a hard-fought match, the Dawn Spear emerges victorious once more.
Pause real quick. What's good, guys? Shirako ZX talking around. Welcome back to another episode of Triangle Strategy. In the previous episode that we did, as the narrator has mentioned, we have taken on the tourney. And we have lost because the guy that we fought was really good. Anyway, in today's episode right now, we're going to keep on going with the story. For today's episode, make sure that like button supports the channel. So take it away, narrator.
Though beaten in the end, Serenoa's courageous display impresses itself upon all in attendance. Any doubts concerning House Wolfort's martial might are put to rest. Thus marks an end to the tourney and the festivities as a whole. With the spirit of harmony in their hearts, the delegates of each nation make preparations for their return voyages.
Seeing our honored guests off shall be your last lordly duty this day. Now, I remind you.
It is not to be taken lightly. Worry not, Benedict. They shall be sent off with all the pomp they deserve.
You take to your new role well, Lord Serenoa. As I must now take to my own. Pray, visit me at the mines whenever you have the time.
Farewell, Frederica. May we never meet again.
Thank you for such a productive use of our valuable time. I do so love interminable speeches and watching brutes play at war. Truly, the spirit of Glenbrook was on display for all to see. Oh, but I should watch my tongue. Wouldn't want her to go whimpering to brother.
Pay my fool cousin no mind. We have work to do. Work more important than any he could hope to be trusted with.
I apologize for those two. This was a fruitful day for all in attendance.
I am glad to hear you say so, General of Lura.
I can't believe we lost. I thought you were supposed to be one of Hyzet's greatest warriors.
Our foe was a worthy one. It would be an honor to cross blades again someday.
Thank you for your hospitality. Please give my regards to Lord Simone.
Of course, Minister.
It would seem everyone is gathered. You'll find your boats are laden with a bounty of Glenbrook's finest wares and victuals. King Regna asks that you eat and drink your fill, and toast to our three nations' newfound alliance.
More of that swill you call wine? I suppose I could force myself to partake.
Your king honors us with his generosity. We shall present these as offerings to the goddess of salt. The Hierophant, too, will no doubt be overjoyed.
Lord Wolford, I bring a message from King Regna. He would have you join our guests on their return voyage to serve as their envoy.
This is a great honor, my lord. You would represent our nation and speak with the king's voice.
If it is His Majesty's wish, it is a duty I will gladly accept. But there are 2 vessels and only one of me. Did King Regna say which of our honored guests I should accompany?
He would leave that decision to you, Lord Wolford.
Lord Falks, as representative of another of Glenbrook's high houses, will board the ship you do not.
And why was House Tellior not given this honor? Last I knew, our kingdom had 3 high houses, not 2.
Mere fact that you whimper those words before us is answer enough. Good show at the tourney, Lord Serenoa. You truly are your father's son. The king has seen fit to leave this decision in your hands, and I shall not gainsay his wisdom.
A lord must be worldly as well as wise. I trust you will conduct yourself as befits the lord of a high house.
Thank you, Sir Maxwell, Lord Falks.
The king has entrusted this decision to you, my lord. I suppose you have an idea as to why.
He means to test my judgment. He is waiting to see which I choose and for what reason.
Indeed. We are friendly with both nations now, so neither choice will earn his ire. That said, there is no telling how these relations may change going forward. No doubt, the choice you make will have an effect on our own house's relationship with the nation you choose.
I understand. This requires careful consideration. Benedict, gather the others. I would hear their opinions on the matter. Then we shall consult the scales of conviction.
At once, my lord.
Tavern is now available at this encampment. Sundry shop is now available at the encampment. So Renault decides whether his house will make the journey to Grand Duchy of Aspharos or the Holy State of Hyzet. Either way, system, save. If anything, we'll just check on either or. Because I like how it's splitting off, but I'm just like that type too. It kind of irks me saying how we gotta have like so many options to go through and which route are we gonna end off the story with, so I just want to have like multiple routes just say pointed here and there. So let's go check it out.
It seems your first test as Lord has come. 'Tis no small matter either.
Indeed, but I needn't face it alone. I would ask each of you where you think we should go and why. State your case before the scales of conviction. Then we shall decide our destination.
We take a vote and the consensus determines our action. Is that it?
That is correct. So long as my allies walk by my side, their opinions carry equal weight to mine. Such is the way of House Wolford. As Lord, I shall bear the weight of consequence for the Scales' decision, whatsoever they may be.
You are more serious than usual, my friend.
He understands what it means to be Lord of his house.
Well, I hope you have room for a stowaway, because I'm going too. In secret, of course. I trust the new Lord Wolford will handle the ponderous negotiations and diplomacy with grace.
Your Highness, you cannot be...
You may stay ashore if you wish, Huette.
You know I cannot allow that. If you insist on going, then I shall attend you.
Well then, it would seem the matter is settled.
There is exactly one coin for each of us.
It seems fate has conspired to bring balance to our proceedings.
How curious.
Curious? I see it as a sign that the heavens approve of my joining you.
You are ever the optimist, my friend.
Shall we proceed, my lord? One coin, one vote.
Very well. I would hear each of your thoughts on the matter in turn. Then you shall place your coin upon the scales of conviction and illuminate the road ahead.
Astros or Hyzen, with that we have time to visit for both. Although I may not have my own token of conviction, it is my duty to lend an ear to their arguments. An honest exchange of opinions will hopefully lead to a decision that satisfies all who vote. The path of the story will be determined by the consensus of your party as played out through voting scenes. Each of your allies will cast their vote according to his or her own conviction. As the player, you'll be bound to the decision of the majority. Oh god. Before voting commences, you may attempt to persuade the others to change their minds. Whether or not your attempt succeeds will only be revealed when the votes are cast. The strength of Sereno's conviction will affect the chances of success. The key to winning over your party is gathering the necessary information beforehand. The information may not always be found in the same room where the votes are cast, so be proactive in talking to everyone you meet on your journey. What? Travel to Grand Duchy of Azeroth. Travel to the holy state of Hyzent. Undecided.
Lord Serenoa.
Azeroth soldiers are said to be among the strongest in all of Nozalia. However, that is the only hearsay. I mean to judge them for myself. She wants to travel to the Grand Duchy of Azeroth.
Lord Serenoa.
Azeroth or Hyza, it makes... Who's this? The spy. Makes no difference to me. Where you go, I shall follow. Still, I would like to hear your thoughts on the matter, my lord. I want to visit. This one should listen to reason. This one should listen to reason. They say Azeroth is the nation of iron and ice. What about appeals you? A smuggler? It is Frederica's home and where my future brother-in-law resides at Archduke. It's only natural to want to deepen a relationship. Doubtless they will prove to be vital in ensuring the success on the mining endeavor. I heard a story of a smuggler pursued by the Azeroth. I would like to hear more of the story and what his crimes deserve to... I have no idea what that is. Smuggler. Must have been a bold crime indeed for us to be speaking of it now. I wonder what he was peddling to risk so much. I too would be interested to hear more of the story. Was it during that previous when we were in the festivities part? Thank you for sharing my life. I see now why you wish to visit Azeroth. Alrighty then.
Serenoa.
I have always wondered when might visit the country where my mother was born. Oh god damn. How did she spend her youth? I would very much like to see. You wish to visit Azeroth? Might I ask why? The people of Hyza may not be so welcoming as you believe. I want to see more of your homeland. As your betrothed, I feel the curiosity is only natural. Truth be told, I prefer the coldest. That makes me happy, Serenoa.
I see.
I would very much like you to see where I was raised. You seem to have given quite a bit of thought to this question, Serenoa.
And?
If we do travel to Azeroth, how would you like to spend our visit? I want to see a society built by the ambitious. A society free from stifling and pumping circumstances. I was hoping you could show me your home if you're willing. Let me see the log. I want to see a society built by ambiguous society free from stifling. Let's go with this. Truly? Then I shall do my level best to show you the finest Espros has to offer.
I see.
I hope it is everything you imagine. If it isn't, well, promise not to think worse of me. Thank you for sharing your thoughts with me. I shall consider them as I come to form my own opinion. Okay. So that's what we're doing.
Lord Serenoa.
I wish to visit the Holy State.
Lord Serenoa.
Until now, Frederica's position has offered her a few chances to visit Heizing. Deepening your relations with the Holy State would doubtless be to your benefit as well. Why not use this opportunity to let Frederica realize a long-held wish in the meantime? I wish to visit the Grand Duchy of Erfstross. If your heart is truly set on Aspharos, I would be curious to know your reasons. A story I heard a particularly skilled smuggler caught my attention. They even sent the military after him. I wonder what he could have been. Ah, yes, although I cannot say if we speak the same person, I did hear tell of a man that had been caught smuggling salt in Aspharos. Curious, I suppose with this joint mining venture before us, such matters could pique your interest.
My mind is made up.
I believe I have more than enough food for thought. Alright. The butler!
Say.
Doubtless Aspharos will be a close partner in the days ahead. It would be wise to see how they live, don't you think?
Listen, lad.
Can very well say Heizing holds much appeal to me seriously, and except blah blah. Who's that over there? Lord Wolfer, I know your position as head of your house comes with many responsibilities, but being party to Roland's fancies is not one of them. I hope you understand that. Roland is doing what he can for the kingdom in his own way. As his older brother, I'm sure you can see that. Roland may be prince, but he's also like a brother to me. I swear to do all I can in the service of the crown. Appreciate your concern, Prince Franny, and hope that you and I can be friends as well, just like our fathers before us. Let me see. Sure, Roland fancies is not one of them. I hope you understand. A brother, you say? You mean to take my place at as that fool's older sibling then? Of course not. There is no way I could replace you, Prince Franny. But because you are brothers, in truth, it stands to reason that you would bicker like siblings. Perhaps it would be good for the royal family if I were to be a buffer between you two. What a curious man you are to offer to play such a part. Do as you please, but I suggest holding on tightly to his reins if you do. Was I supposed to get him or something? King Ragnar expects great things of you, Lord Serenoa. If there is anything I can do to be sure, simply say the word. I should like to learn more about the Holy State. I know they lay claim to the source of Nozalia, so I should like to know Frederica's home. I hear the great... I would have thought you were an expert of the subject, considering your bride-to-be hails from that very land, but allow me to tell you what I know. Aspharos is nestled within the snowy mountains to the north and is famed for its abundance of iron expertise in smithing. Their elite soldiers, known as the Black Irons, managed to make quite the name for themselves during the Salt Iron War. The nation is led by Archduke Gustav, Lady Frederica's older brother, and though he holds most of Aspharos' political power, he encourages the people to act freely and promotes individuals on the basis of ability rather than blood or social status. I see. That sounds wonderful. Perhaps it does now, but we mustn't forget that they were the very ones who caused the war of 30 years past. They are an ambitious people living in the cold and harsh nation, which makes me think that the hunger of theirs is still alive and well. Pray forgive me, I forget myself sometimes. I hope my foolish ramblings have not clouded your judgment. The decision is yours to make, Lord Serenoa, and I am sure you will choose most wisely. Alrighty then, let's talk to our butler.
Lord Serenoa.
Mr. Medicine is said to be making progress in both medicine and magic. I believe we could benefit greatly from seeing the fruits of their knowledge with our own eyes. What interest have you in the Grand Duchy of Azeroth, my lord? Their country is built on unfettered trade. Being Lord of Merchant Hub, that idea holds great interest for me. Ah, yes, certainly a fascinating aspect of their society. However, I find Hazard's claims on universal equality to be even more intriguing. I appreciate your point of view, my lord. There is much I think over before I might reach blah blah blah. Of course, if you have further thoughts on the matter, that would be all good and glad to hear them. Knowledge is the foundation of power. We can learn much by wandering for a spell.
Quite true.
Ah, the archives, the seat of the world's knowledge. Even the most erudite amongst us but a fool before the countless tomes. You have given me too much consider, my lord. I shall take your perspective into account when making my decision. We're good? Let's see how this goes.
It is time to cast our votes. Do we journey to the Grand Duchy of Esfrost, or the holy state of Hyzant? Approach the scales of conviction with your token at the ready.
You make a convincing argument, my lord.
We shall have a chance to visit Hyzant again in the future. Of that I am certain.
I wholeheartedly agree.
If that is your desire, then I shan't argue against it.
I have no qualms with that.
You made a convincing argument, a desirable attribute in a young lord.
You have my vote.
Where my lord goes, I follow.
The scales of conviction will illuminate the path we've chosen.
Travel to the Grand Duchy of Azeroth, as it is.
The way forward is decided. We journey to Esfrost.
If anything, I'll make a cut back, go back to here, and just show what the other side is. If anything.
We have decided. We set sail for Esfrost. Whether or not it proves to be the right choice will depend on our actions. I trust in you all.
We are ready to set sail, Lord Patriot.
Very good, my lord. When you pay respects to the Archduke, remember that you do so on behalf of our king.
Archduke Gustadolf will be pleased that you chose to honor our nation with a visit. I'm sure he is eager to get to know his new brother-in-law as well.
The feeling is mutual, I assure you.
Does this mean she is coming back too? I feel myself getting sick already.
That swill they call wine will taste even more vile now, I fear.
My lady, are you sure you wouldn't prefer to stay at Castle Wolfort?
Nonsense. I am coming with you.
Oh, okay. So I guess we'll make it the other part of showing the other side then. Alrighty then. Now this time it's the other option, so we have to persuade the others to go to the other option. Got it. So let's go check it out. Travel to the holy state of Hyzant. Doubtless the Aspharos will be close, blah blah. If it would be wise to see how, don't you think? I want to visit the holy state of Hyzant. What reasons have you for wanting to visit Hyzant? I would be fascinated to see a society where everyone is truly equal.
Certainly.
Indeed, they say Hyzant is a country without kings or nobles. 'Tis hard to imagine. But why imagine when we could see it our own eyes? Interesting proposal. I wonder that everyone else thinks. You giving me much to consider, my friend? Oh, before we do that, let's double check on this. Fast forward for our holy state. But of course, your curiosity is only natural, seeing as your Demense shares a border for the holy state itself. Hyzant is a very devout nation that reveres the goddess of salt and her teachings. The citizens are her followers, and they are led by her oracle, the Hierophant, along the rest of the Saintly Seven. Hyzant itself is mostly a desert wasteland, with the exception of the source. They claim complete ownership over the salt within it, declaring it to be divine boon from the goddess. Therefore, making it Nozelia's most wealthy and powerful nation. I heard that the people there enjoy peaceful and prosperous lives. You heard right, but appearances can sometimes be deceiving. As you may already know, it is probably best not to take a Rosalind like Lady Frederica should you choose to go to Hyzant. Pray forgive me, I forget sometimes. I hope my foolish ramblings have not clouded your judgment. The decision is yours to make, Lord Serenoa, and I'm sure you'll choose most wisely. Same thing again. Let's see what happens. You cannot win my favor as you have my brothers. House Wolford may be a vassal to the crown, but they also possess a very special power. Cozying up the royal family will do nothing but arouse needless suspicion. My apologies. I will be more cautious of the boundaries between the high houses and the crown, for the sake of the kingdom. I am glad we have an understanding. I hope you know that I acknowledge both the power and good faith of House Wolford. Pray do not fan the flames of my brother's foolishness any further. Alright then, back to here. This guy.
Listen, lad.
Can very well blah blah. Yeah. Want to go to Hyzant, do ye? Care to tell me why, my lord? The stories of the miracles performed in the Ministry of Medicine have piqued my interest. Such knowledge could help our soldiers and common folk alike.
You're onto something.
Aye, doubtless we could learn from the minds of the ministry. Would that we had such gift healers and mages at our disposal. Might be could ask him for a book, but I've always been of the mind that the learning is done through doing.
I've made up my mind.
Thank ye for sharing your thoughts on the matter, my lord. Alrighty then, and well, second to last one. Visit the Holy Land. Hyzant, it has its charms as well, I am sure. What about appeals to you, my lord? The Ice Mage. It is said that the skill of their mages are unequal. Wouldn't you like to test your skill against such warriors?
Quite true.
I have heard the same. One magic I have seen is impressive enough. I can scarce imagine that a true master could do. I should like to try my hand against one in mock combat if able. My bow against their spells. Okay. Thank you, my lord. I suppose there may be some merit in visiting Hyzant. And the same
Lord
one.
Serenoa.
Holy State? They say Hyzant is a nation of salt and sand. Do you have a reason to go there? I wish to see what miracles are performed in the ministry.
Indeed.
I see. I hear the Freds perform their beggar belief. Any known knowledge we can gain will surely come in handy during time of need. Thank you for sharing, my lord. Alright, let us begin.
It is time to cast our vote. Do we journey to the... Approach the skin...
Let's see what happens. Oh, I didn't even read his. What? Fast forward.
You have...
What did he say? If that is what you wish, then it's so be it. Hyzant is just good as Aspharos. Where my lord goes, I follow. We already know that.
I changed my mind.
Hyzant has its charms. I admit charms I mean to see for myself.
Forgive me, lad.
I have been wanting to visit Esther for a while. What?
The scales of conviction.
What do we get? The other side. Hey! He's deep in thought, but he's still
The
there.
way forward is decided. We journey to Hyzant.
Alrighty then.
We have decided. We set sail for the holy state of Hyzant. Whether or not it proves to be the right choice will depend on our actions. I trust in you all.
We are ready to set sail, Lord Patriot.
Very good, my lord. When you pay respects to the Holy One and the Saintly Seven, remember that you do so on behalf of our king.
Lord Serenoa, we are honored that you would choose to grace our nation with your presence. That said, I must offer you a warning as well.
It may be in Lady Frederica's best interests to remain here in Glenbrook. I fear there may be some complications were she to come to Hyzant.
Huh? She is half-sister to the Archduke and my betrothed besides. What complications could there possibly be?
None, if I had any say in it. However, the matter is more delicate than that.
Your lady's hair would draw attention. Unfortunately, none of it favorable.
My mother's hair. The pink locks of the Roselle. Mother once told me of how her people fled Hyzant.
Then you know how the Roselle are viewed in our nation. How the Gospel of the Goddess regards them as sinners.
Yes, I do. But I am from Esfrost, and I assure you I have committed no sins.
Of course, my lady. Very well then. I will do all in my power to see your visit is a pleasant one.
Thank you. Pray forgive my outburst.
You've no need to apologize. Still, I must ask, are you certain?
I must go. I would see with my own eyes. See where and how my mother and her people suffered.
And with that, we'll end the episode right here.